there's a lot of I'm sure Zoom fatigue and people are busy, but we thought it was important because we just hadn't connected with coaches and we saw guys throughout the fall. But first and foremost, for the guys that are on here, appreciate everything that you guys do for us. As Trav said, I think in the email, we're only as good as our coaches, and we got some dads on here, we got some guys, some full-time coaches, we got guys that are working professionals, and all different all different walks, and we feel like we're pretty blessed to have the guys that we have involved with Mesa. And in this day and age, it's really competitive, and there's a lot of different clubs popping up. There's a lot of different alliances popping up, and Trav, Mark, and I try to stay, on the cutting edge and try to do the best job we can to provide a schedule that's competitive for our teams and fits our teams. So it may be different for different age groups, but your efforts, your organization, your relationships with the players and the families are first and foremost. You guys are on the front line, so we appreciate that. So that's all. I was just going to talk for a couple minutes about that, and then I think Mark was going to talk about box and kind of some things like that. And the biggest thing for all of you guys that are on here is we're a resource here for you. We want to find reasons to, if you have ideas, or if you're not sure about things, or if you think that there's different ways to go about doing things, we're all ears. And I'm probably the best person, of the three to communicate that through. And then I can talk to Mark and Trav about that. But you're all really good at what you do, and you all have different lenses that you're looking through. And so we value that and appreciate that, and certainly are willing to change and to evolve based on feedback that you guys give us. So just roll it into the the winter skills in the box. You guys have had the fall to get a chance to know your guys. So, I would just continue to do drills and fundamental things that are going to make your team better, not only, in the skills and drills part of the box lacrosse, but also going towards competition in the spring and summer. It's not a lot of time. It's like 80 minutes for 6 or 8 sessions, something like that. So utilize that time to the best way you can. And I would think, Mark will talk about the resource page and stuff like that, but use us if you need ideas about different drills. But I guess the thing that I would say, which I think most of us, we all do a pretty good job of, is make sure that you have a script, that you have, that you're maybe doing drills for 10 or 12 minutes at a clip. And that I think the biggest thing for all of our teams is that you want to have fun with the guys. You want to get to know them. You want to have fun, but you also want them to continue to evolve and grow and develop depending on their age and what they're doing. It would be great to continue to communicate with your teams, above and beyond the normal team snap stuff. If you guys are, I think we're all teachers, a lot of us are dads, so we're looking for these guys to grow on the field and off the field. So if there's lessons, or if you read stories or see things, share that with your teams and with your families, because that goes a long way. We're asking a lot financially, a big commitment. So I just think, that there's the one model that I look at is our 24 team, and Hupp and CK have been with that group for a long time. I don't think either of them are on here. Joe's on here, but those guys if that team was not very strong. And over the course of 3 or 4 years, by hearing the same voice and the same passion, and those guys, they don't miss anything, and again, I can say that about a lot of you guys. Those guys have just been together, and we've watched those 24s kind of evolve from youth to high school. And they're not great, but they're pretty doggone good, and they're competitive in the NAL and the NLF. And if you'd asked me 2 years ago if that would have been possible, like we were we continue to be worried about our 25s a little bit, but our 24s have gotten a ton better, and it's a direct correlation to the coaching that they're getting. And more than the coaches, it's the relationships that Hup, Joe, Carl, and CK have developed with those boys and those families, right? And we had the issue that was, tragic, but almost even more tragic with B Evento, and, he almost died. So that probably had a lot to do with it, but that team is like it's like a little family. And so they've done a good job. So we know that, it's not your bread and butter, and you got a lot of other things going on, but reaching out and going above and beyond, and having us help you do that is important. As I was talking to Joe Karpinski before, I'm down in Florida right now. I can't wait to go watch, listen tomorrow and Friday and Saturday to, about different drills and different things, and doing different things the same way maybe that I've been doing them for 5 or 6 years. So professionally, just trying to develop and stay crisp and sharp. And again, I think it's your affective personality when you're around these families, and you see them again for the first time this Sunday, get excited. They'll feed off your excitement. And it's hard coaching in Marple because of the floor and the balls are bouncing around. But if you're prepared and, you have it scripted out and you have coaches there, and you know what your roles are, it'll roll pretty well. The other thing is, if you're not going to be able to make it, just communicate with us, because we can fill in and we can find guys to double up. We just want to put our best foot forward, to our families, to make sure that we have great ratio of coaches to players. And that's really all I have. We're trying to organize a Christmas party, and I don't know that we have a definite date, but Mark's been in contact with Frenchie. We're trying to do something up the Gadaway on December 21st. So we'll send out another email, and we'd love to get everyone together and, spend some money and just have some fun together as a group of coaches. So stay tuned for that. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. I know we're missing a ton of guys here, but, I enjoy coming up from Chestertown on Sundays, and we'll enjoy it this winter because I like being around you guys. It's fun for me, and I like being around our family. So I look forward to seeing you guys. I won't be there obviously this Sunday, but I'll be around. And if Mark, Trevor, I can do anything to enhance what you guys are doing, let us know, because we're here to support you guys, and I really appreciate what you guys do. So thank you.
Trying to get this, I don't know if we ever had a Christmas party before. I know we had a couple end of the year parties, and I know sometimes we have a party in the summertime, and with the young guys, with the old guys, it's usually pretty fun. So we're kind of shooting for December 21st with that at Big Gadaway Tavern. So this weekend kicks off kind of our, I don't even know really what to call it as much as just, in the beginning, we always called it winter skills, and we just did skill work. And then somebody eventually said, hey, let's go, let's do box lacrosse too. And we kind of, had box lacrosse and then winter skills. And then, now we're kind of at the stage where we're kind of trying to mix it all in together, because now more than ever, we play a little bit in the spring, and kids play in the spring, and, our main season is in the summer. But just coming off of the fall, I think, if you're a coach that's worth your salt, you kind of have an idea of what you need to get better at. I know for 2026s, I mean, we've worked on passing with them since, they were, 5 years old or whatever, but we still need passing work, so trying to figure that out and how you're going to fit it all in is crucial. But what we've kind of come up with a little bit to kind of help you through that is if you go on our website and go to that front page, Trav's putting it up here. If you go to the resources page and then let it drop over, we've made, a coach's resource page, that's public, but I think it's a pretty good page for our guys. I don't know if anyone else even looks at it. And we've tried to really kind of bring it all together with our, box lacrosse and there's a document that says winter box lacrosse practices. If you go on that, last year I wrote a whole thing about box lacrosse, and how to teach it and how to coach it and everything like that. And I think I did all this. I think I did almost all the sessions last year. For whatever reason, I had like a ton of energy last year. I don't know. There's no way that I don't think I could do it this year. So we're kind of leaving it up to the team coaches to coach those sessions. And again, it's to me, those sessions should be, if they're 80 minutes or some of the little guy ones are 60 minutes, but most of them are 80 minutes. Probably 15 or 20% of that should be, straight stick skill work, and getting into the skill work and something, figure out something that your guys like to do that you can execute quickly as they come in, and just get some millions and millions of reps. Right. And I don't like any kind of lines. Marple's great and bad because of the floor is sport court. So you can't really put a ball down on the ground. The ball should be in the air, and it's a rink. So there's no area for like lines. So it's great because we don't really love guys standing in lines or line drills or anything like that. We're just going to kind of figure out how to get those. You got to figure out how to get those guys to work. But first and foremost, the rink is a sport court, floor. So the boys definitely have to wear sneakers. We'll put that in some kind of email. Trav, if you go to the next thing, and just some of the quick safety things. Basically the biggest one for me is we're just trying to play the ball near the boards. We're not trying to hit. We cannot have guys hit each other into the boards, whether it's head first or even on their side. Whenever the ball's near the boards, I always have like a slight heart attack, whether my own sons are playing or other boys are playing. We just can't have any contact or collision near the boards. And all the rest you can kind of read over. That it's all pretty simple, but just briefly, to me, coming out of the fall, you should have a pretty good idea of what you need to get better at. You got to figure out a way to work on those things. And if you go to the next slide, I just think 20% of this thing should be spent on, skill work. And you can break that skill work down any way you want to do it. They can do it individually. You can do it with partners, triangles, groups of 3, groups of 4, up and down the floor, stationary, however you want to do it, 3-on-2s, anything you got. Almost all those drills, all the good ones are on that resource page. You can kind of check those out, on your own. But if 20% of the practice is skill work, which I think is great, we would expect that 70 or 80% of that would be some kind of scrimmage work, right? Trav, if you go to the next page, and we want to get up and down. We want our guys to play, and it's the wintertime. We're in a rink, so we're just going to try to, as coaches, I just think you want to play as much as possible, and there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Right now, I coach at Radnor, and we're allowed to practice all winter. I never know who's coming to practice. So like yesterday we had 13 guys, and half of them were seniors and half of them were freshmen. I had to think of something really quick, and we had 3 goalies. 2 days ago we had no goalies. One day we have 1 goalie. Sometimes we have all seniors. Sometimes we have half freshmen, half seniors. Sometimes we have 50 players. Sometimes we have 10. So it's all about kind of figuring out how you want to structure this. But I think we all think that most of that rink time should be spent in scrimmage mode. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. Box lacrosse is, it's cool, right? There's a lot of kind of like I would call them pro box lacrosse, specialized box lacrosse teams. And I like it. I think it's cool. I just want to get our teams better for when we play in the spring and the summertime. And whatever way you want to do that is great. To do like full on box across is actually really hard. Number one, you need 2 goalies that are fully padded up, and you need a bunch of lefties to really do it correctly. But you can do that if you want to do that. All the scheme work is on this document. But for the most part, I think you just want to kind of get up and play. And you can do that 4-on-4 full court. You can do that 5-on-5 full court. Some of the box across structures with 5 guys is a little more complicated. With 4, it's really easy. And again, I don't think you have to work on anything with box across specifically. You can kind of add some things as you go. If you have enough lefties, I like to have the righties on one side and the lefties on the other side, like real box across. But unfortunately, some of our teams don't have any lefties. Some of our teams have a limited number of lefties. You might have a time where no lefties show up. So it's important to play in there, but you might not have to use all the box across elements. The thing that I really like to do, and it goes back to passing, is I think it's the hippo scrimmage, right? And that's, you can play a scrimmage where your guys only hold the ball for 3 seconds, and it forces them to pass. And it not only forces them to pass, but it forces your guys to become outlets, and it forces them to become off-ball guys. And Joey's having trouble, so Jimmy kind of figures out a way to become an outlet, get open, and get the ball. And if they move it every 3 seconds, you're forcing them to pass. And I think that's the best thing going, maybe even better than box across specifically. There's some other things on there. For the little guys, I don't know how many guys will show up, and we have the 31s and the 32s together. The last time we were at Marple, they had 4 box across cages. I think sometimes you could go across the rink from sideboards to sideboards and just play with a tennis ball and get a lot out of it, And if you have a seriously limited number of guys, I think you can play even some take it back games and everything like that. But I mean, just the huge emphasis on doing whatever it takes to get your team better. And again, coming off of fall, you should have a pretty good idea of what those things are. So again, take a look at the doc when you have time. And if you have any questions, you can certainly text me, and we can kind of work on it together, or, you can kind of figure it out on your own, or do whatever. But it's a great time. I think the box across, or winter, whatever you want to call it, that takes us all the way out until, mid February. And then, give them a little break in February. They'll probably be playing for their township teams. And then we will come back strong in late spring.
All right. Thanks, Mark. I can't get my video here. The only thing that I might add is this pre-practice stuff that Mark was talking about with the skill work and stuff, where it says like see pre-practice drills, see pre-practice drills. If you go back to the same area, here's the pre-practice drills that he's talking about, so for 30 minutes or whatever, if you want some ideas of stuff to do, Mark has it all on here. Also, sometimes depending on the age, the goalies are reluctant to get in cage sometimes. We're also doing goalie winter skills on Saturdays. They're all by themselves, so maybe they just go to that, and they don't go to the skill session, which is fine. We're going to have like 4x4 boards that will go, inserts that will go inside the goal, that have like a top left, top right, blah, 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 open spots that are almost better than goalies. Nody, is there anything you want to add here to sum it up?
the only other thing that I would say is there's some of our teams, you know, we have the blue teams and, you know, I worry about those kids and their self-esteem and them getting, you know, that whole team experience. So I think with a lot of our teams, if, as you guys, you know, are out and about and, you know, if we can add players, or if there's players that are interested and they're not sure and we can get them to winter skills, you know, I think that's important. You know, we can let kids guest, we can get kids out there, but throughout the winter and the spring, if we can bolster some of our rosters, you know, that would be huge. And again, we're here for all of you guys. We want to, you know, if there's things that you need from us, whether it's equipment, whether it's whatever support we can give you, please don't hesitate to ask us. And again, just communicate with us if you're not going to be able to make a session or something like that, which is definitely going to come up. We'll get it covered. But can't thank you guys enough. I think Mesa's in great shape. You know, we went through a tough year last year, made some tough decisions, which I think were the right decisions, dropping our girls program and dropping our teams in Maryland. So our focus is Philly. And I think things are going very, very well. So whatever we can do to help you guys, to make your guys' experience more enjoyable, so you're looking forward to going to the training sessions and the practices, that's what we want to do. And if there are ever any issues, please, you know, just let us know. And we'll communicate as quick as we can about this, you know, the 21st or whenever we can lock in Bagat away.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. All right. Have a good night.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.